You're watching News 18 this morning. News from where you live.
Every first Monday of the month, News 18 this morning invites a local mayor to join us for Mayor Monday. And this morning, we're joined by Crawfordsville Mayor Todd Barton. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
So let's talk about a lot of things that are going on in Crawfordsville right now. The first thing I want to talk about is something we've talked about with many mayors on this show before who have come on, and that's the Amtrak line going through Crawfordsville and many other localities. It's going to run for the remainder of 2014. And then what do you see as the solution after 2014 for this line?
Well, we are in the process right now collectively of putting together a request for proposals that will make the service competitive. And Amtrak and other providers will bid to provide that service. And we think that will take service itself to the next level, which will make the line more viable and make it a good option for people.
It sounds like Crawfordsville and many other localities along the line want to keep it, but just want to improve it as it stands.
That's right. We've all bought in, and we're all paying our share right now, and we want to see it succeed. You know, if you look at the things that people want today, mass transit is part of the equation.
And let's move to another issue in Crawfordsville now. That's the sale of a power plant. Originally, you were asking for quite a lot of money for the power plant compared to earlier proposals, and now it's sold for much less, but still sold to a developer. Explain what's going on with that plant.
Well, the plant is coal-fired, and it really become a real liability for our community and our public utility. And we wanted to get that in private hands. The private developer is going to invest more than $40 million in the plant to install natural gas technology and some things like that. So we're excited to move that forward. And if we didn't, we were faced with a situation of about a $5 to $6 million price tag to clean the site up and dispose of it ourselves. So you know, we were losing almost $1 million a year in operational costs, and it hadn't generated power in several years. So it was, in my estimation, it was time to cut our losses and put it in private hands and make something happen there.
And something else that had been vacant for quite some time that I know you were looking to develop is the Culver Hospital.
Right.
Let's talk about how that development process came along. After it had sat vacant for years, you finally have somebody to help you develop that site.
Right. That's sat for 30 years, and it's a real eyesore in our community and a considerable public safety threat as well. And we've been able, with a private partner, to apply for federal housing tax credits, and we've been successful in that application. It was awarded in February, and we will see construction start in the coming months. So we'll see some senior housing there, something that's much needed in our community, and clean up this blight as well.
And how many units will be a part of that whole package, and what do you think it will really do for the community after sitting vacant for so long?
Well, this is a really big win for our community because, like I said, 30 years, you know, 3 decades of sitting there in a neighborhood and being dangerous. It's just a huge victory, and it sits right off of our downtown. It's very visible to everyone. If nothing else, it's just a big morale booster for our community to see this succeed finally.
And talk about that fight, even for a smaller community of Crawfordsville, to fight the blight. You had the power plant, you have the Culver Union Hospital, and now even trying to improve Amtrak to keep people moving and keep commerce going in Crawfordsville. What is all that about in terms of planning the future of Crawfordsville?
It's all about quality of life, and we're attacking that on several fronts, but we have to create a community in which people want to live, and that's what we're really after with all these types of projects. And a lot of these are things that have lingered on for many years, and we're committed to pushing them over the edge and making positive things happen.
We reached out to a lot of our viewers on Facebook when we told the mayor he was coming in, and many of them came back to us with certain questions, and we thank you for reaching out to us. And many of those questions focus on stopped trains in Crawfordsville.
Absolutely.
Especially in the middle of town when people have to go to work, or people are also worried on Facebook about emergencies that might arise in the city. What is the city doing to address that issue?
Well, we have several state highways that come together right in the heart of our city, and we have been experiencing trouble with CSX trains that stop periodically, and it does just bring everything to a halt. And we've been in constant communication with the folks at CSX, and I'll be speaking with them yet again today as we move through that process. And it seems to be a combination of things that cause the problem: a grade difference, a switching problem, a signaling problem, things like that. So we've really been working with them. We had seen a significant reduction in stop trains until recently, and now we've seen a spike again. So we are in constant communication with them. But you know, as far as emergency services, they're very well aware of it, and we keep them informed when we do have a stop train. And we've actually installed cameras along those crossings so that our dispatchers, our emergency dispatchers, can tell when that crossing is blocked and when it's not, so they can reroute emergency responders immediately.
All right, Todd Barton, Mayor of Crawfordsville, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, some of this morning's top stories.